Answering growls sounded from all around as more figures emerged from the darkness. She wasn't sure if they were fast zombies pretending to be slow until she made a move, or genuinely slow zombies, so she strolled toward a nearby store. The business had carried sports equipment, and its front display held a rack of baseball bats. She grabbed two and tossed them into the air like they were juggling pins. Real-world bats probably would have been too heavy for her to accomplish the trick. Here she could influence, if not outright control, almost everything. Amber sauntered toward the closest duo, then sped up into a jog as she neared. The pair of zombies spread apart, which offered her the perfect opportunity. She pulled both bats back over her head, ran between the pair, and brought the weapons down in diagonal strikes. Both struck a zombie's head. Her foes went down almost like mirror images, accompanied by a pair of echoing cracks that sounded almost as one. She brushed a bit of gore from her jacket and growled, "They ripped off a video game for the simulation, and a stupid one at that. Morons." The physics of the destruction had confirmed what she'd assumed from the surroundings. Lots of interesting weapons would be nearby to make gory messes of the living dead, and it was a given that she would have to traverse the whole level of the mall to get wherever she was going. The zombies continued to shamble toward her, confirming they were the slow kind. Amber walked steadily forward, occasionally weaving to one side or the other to pick up new weapons. She grabbed a driver from the front display of a golfing equipment store, then shrugged, grabbed the whole bag full of clubs, and strapped it across her body. A driver in the face took down the next zombie to get close to her. The wooden club snapped, so she used the splintered handle as a stake for the next one and speared it with a two-handed drive into its heart. As she continued forward, those she'd passed without engaging had grouped up behind her and were gaining. Amber jogged as she pulled the next club from the bag, which turned out to be a wedge. It was a chipping wedge, shorter than she would have preferred since the fighting wasn't tight, but it served to take out the next 3 zombies she encountered. Footsteps from behind warned her that her trailing enemies had found another gear. She accelerated and muttered, "Oh, so the system has finally registered I'm here and done something about it." However much the chrome ghosts are paying their infomancer, they're getting cheated. She pulled out 2 irons and slashed them crosswise into the necks of the next 2 zombies she reached. Her hand found a driver as she moved into an outright run, but a pair of zombies were on her before she could swing it. One came in from her left and wrapped her in a bear hug that wedged her arms against her body. The other ran in from the right and lurched forward, its head descending toward her neck, its arms reaching out to envelop her as well. Amber didn't have the brute strength to break the grip, but she didn't need it. The zombies were fragile things, dead and rotting. She lifted her left leg and snapped it down in a kick to the knee of the one that held her. The joint broke and it fell backward, still grabbing at her. She used the momentum to leap forward, break its hold, and tumble into a shoulder roll. When she came up, a pistol was in her hand. It was long and silver, with a complicated scope on the top that had deployed once it was free of her jacket. She sighted on the nearest one's head and pulled the trigger. A beam of energy lanced out. Then the zombie flashed bright orange and melted. She grimaced at the unpleasant sight and knew she'd see it again in nightmares. That didn't stop her from doing the same thing to the next 4 zombies that closed in. Amber growled, "Morons!" She stuffed the gun into her jacket and jogged toward the escalator. She climbed on and discovered she could no longer walk forward, but was trapped on the current step. While that wasn't an immediate problem, given that it was taking her where she wanted to go, it doubtless indicated the presence of some unpleasant surprise nearby. A moment later, a score of tentacles dropped from the ceiling. They wrapped around her arms and torso before she could react, but she got her head down fast enough to block the ones trying to encircle her neck. She growled, "No," then snapped, "Electro." Her black suit held many surprises beyond the ability to contain way more stuff than it should have been able to.